All right, everybody, welcome to the call. Today, we're going to be going over lead engagement, lead conversion, and how to make sure that we are hopefully generating leads that are engaging with us and converting. Welcome to the Friday call. Let me know where you're coming in from. Go ahead, let me know who we got with us. We'd love to say hello. And I'm going to be showing off a few different things. Also, make sure if you haven't watched these videos on our homepage, we actually got a couple of great videos there. And I'm going to find, excuse me, the YouTube video for one of these. There's a longer version of one of these. In fact, there's longer versions of a few of them. If I go to playlist on our YouTube channel, I'm going to pop it in here in a second. Let me see, just to make sure. I always forget to bring this over before we start. And yeah, there we go. Perfect. And I got to add some more videos to this playlist, but I'm going to drop this into the chat. And if you want to click on it, let it open up, and then you can come right back in here. And Paul says, if you're going to text expired listing, hold on one second. Let me back up real quick. So Paul says, if you were going to text and expired listing to see if they're interested in, what verbiage would you use? And would you send the flipbook link to them in the text? Paul, yeah, you know what? If you go to this group here, in fact, let me just drag it over. I'll put the link also in the chat. So we got a group right here, the expired and seller, and I should say FSBO. We go after FSBOs as well, bounce around. In this group, the daily action plan to engage and list expireds. If I pop on that and I click it again, it's going to take me to a Google Doc. And in this Google Doc, you will see, all right, the title, step one. All right. And this is step one, which is obviously identify 5 to 10 expireds a day. There's a lot of ways of doing this. There's unlimited ways of doing it. You could literally go after all of them at once if you got the capability. So anyways, that's step one. Step two, and this will get to your question, but I just wanted to set up step one. Step two, we've got a call and a voicemail script. These are two different things. The call script is when you get them on the line and you're actually talking to them. The voicemail script is different because a lot of the times people will, I think there's now more than half the time, the voicemail will do a text transcript. So people are going to actually read your voicemail instead of listening to it more than half the time. And so the way we say things is going to be different. All right. And if you click on these, there's a little pop-up that right there. If I click on it, there's a pop-up. I click it and it will take me to the information. But for the text, since that was your question, right there, for text sequence. And if I click on that one, and let's try it again. There we go. So this opens up another document. And so what we do, Paul, and let me know if this makes sense. So I divide up the expired leads, and this is true for seller leads, expired, and FSBO. I divide them up into so there's A group is one, and then your B's and C's are in another group. For the A's, what I do is those are like the luxury high-end listings, hot listings, maybe as an example, where I'm going to add them to my listings to leads account, where their home is on every page of both the flip book and the cover. So it's their home on the cover, their name is on the cover, the address is on the cover. It is like literally their booklet. And then I would text that link to the flip book in the text message, which I'll get to in a second. For the B and C leads, I will create and I'll show you an example in a minute. I will create a area, like just one area expired. And I do this for listing seller leads. So, like a listing presentation, the listing presentation is not for a particular home, it is for homeowners in Placer County or home sellers in Placer County. And I do the same for FSBO. And I'll show you examples of all those in a minute for anyone that wants to see that. And then for my A leads, there's actually 3 text messages. So what I will do, and I'm not going to get it into this call because we do it on our twice a day calls, which I literally just redid and posted in the mastermind group. I take that long flipbook link and I'll use Bitly, and you'll see here I will edit it down to a nice clean link so it's short. And I got 1 text, 2, 3 different text messages for my A group, and then I got 4 for the B and C group. All right. And so for the A group, and we'll get off this and get on to the webinar topic here in a second. This is how JJ listed 4 properties in 6 weeks. So you can see here, every page here has Gwen Dorsey's name on the cover. Her address is on the cover. That's her home on the cover. And every image in here is of her home. So all throughout this booklet, and that link goes to her property website. The QR code goes to her property website. The text code goes to her property website. Okay. And again, it's just her property all the way through. Now, again, like I mentioned, for those B's and C's, it is going to be the general, like the neighborhood or the area flip book. So you can see here, this is the B and C group. And when I click on this one, now the flip book, there's no name on the cover. There's no address on the cover. It just says the 100-point home marketing plan to get home sold. And I could have put to get home sold in Placer County, to get home sold in California, or I could just leave it like that where, I don't necessarily even say an area because everyone that gets it is going to know it's for them. And then I use we go through this. We have other posts and videos where I go through creating a image of a home using ChatGPT. So I'll get a photo of a photo of a property in my area, so a photo of a home in my area, and I'll load that into ChatGPT, use that as a reference photo, and I'll tell ChatGPT, use this as a reference photo, change the color, change the landscaping, change the garage door from 1 to 2, 2 to 1, change some of the windows so that what I get here is a picture of a home that everybody in the area will recognize as, oh, that looks like a home in the area, but nobody would be able to pinpoint whose home it is because I just don't want to be using somebody's actual home, but I don't want to use like a complete stock image of a home either, because a lot of times these stock images of homes, they're a little bit sterile and they don't really look like homes in our area necessarily. Deb says, Fonzie, that's quite the name. Good morning. Deb says, you could also change it to your own domain. You could, but Deb, you can do whatever you want. Yeah. I tell you what, I mean, if you're referring, Deb, to this, and Deb, I think you owe me something. I seem to remember, Deb, you owe me something. I'm thinking, like, Deb, right? There's something you're supposed to give to me that you haven't quite yet. I love you. We're all busy. It's a busy time of year. But Deb, if you're talking about this link right here, to be honest, man, check this out, right? It's their address. Now, this is the general one, but look at that. In fact, let's just look at apples to apples. Let me go back to this one. And I promise everybody, we'll get on point shortly. But if I go to this URL here, if this is what you're referring to, look at that. And could I do 489whitneylane.com? I could. And it's nice. But now let's check this out. 489whitneylane.worldsbestlisting.com. I'm telling you, this URL right here is worth the price of listing to leads. It's not, but it is. Because when a seller sees that domain being used with their single property website, that is way better. That is way better than just the plain 489 Whitney Lane. Now, to a bigger point here, you can totally use, so for example, Deb, if you've got, for example, I feel like people are scared to click on links. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. But you know what? The cool thing is you can do a lot of this in a way that you feel is best for you, right? I do think, though, for example, if I call and leave a message, I send a text, and then maybe I also send an email. A lot of it is going to be just do they trust us, right? And so when we do a one and done, so we call somebody, and this is will be relevant to the topic of the webinar today. When you do like a one and done, and then you split, why should they trust you? Why would they click a link? When we follow up and we stay consistent with it, that's why, and maybe I'll show a little bit later. My wife, one of the great things with engagement is actually doing videos instead of, now depends on the type of ad you're running, but when you can put yourself in the ad, people start trusting you more. And that can be a great part of engagement with what we're doing in lead generation. I use Bitly and my domain is the Deb Hain difference. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Lisa, hi Scott. He is my VA whom I named because he's a cool dude. That's all right, Lisa. That's awesome. That's classic. I love it. Jonathan, I agree with that. Video is 100% added value. Yeah. And that's why sometimes we get too scared or too nervous or we try to be too perfect when absolutely don't, because all it is, when I was probably in my mid 20s, late 20s, and I always forget the name of this thing. Oh my God, it slips my mind. But I did one of those weekend things, like a retreat, and you go, and some of you may have seen this or know what I'm talking about here, but you go to these things and you sit there all weekend long and you got these speakers, and it's kind of like self-awareness and self-help type of thing, whatever. My friend got me into this thing. There's 300 people in a room. It's almost like a cultish type of thing, really. I was young and I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. And so you're all sitting there and they're just talking at you for 12 hours. And it starts on Friday, then it's Saturday, then it's Sunday. And you're just sitting there thinking, holy, like, how the heck am I even staying with this? And then at the last part of the whole thing, it's a setup for the last hour, right? After 36 hours of sitting there. And this is relating to video, which is nobody is concerned about how you look. Nobody is concerned about all the things that you are concerned about with yourself. They are concerned about themselves. So we don't need to worry about, oh my God, is my hair perfect? Do I look just right? I think a lot of times when we do that, people look at that and they just go, who is she? Who is this guy? When you're just authentic, you just show up, right? Brush your teeth, look decent, look good, but don't try to sit there and go, oh my God, I got to go buy an outfit. I got to be perfect. I got to have Chanel. I got to have the perfect bracelet. And that almost starts coming across as like unreal. Just, you don't identify with somebody like that. Like I see some of these people online and it's just like, you're so overdone, like so much makeup, like that perfect hair all the time. And it's, listen, just record the video. Don't say I'm in awe. I'm the worst speaker sometimes. I'm awful. When I edit one of my videos, I'm just aghast at how awful I speak sometimes. But when you just show up and you just give information on a consistent basis via video, that goes a long way. And my wife's a mortgage broker. She does a lot of video. And I tell you, her lead engagement, along with some of the stuff that we're going to talk about today, is phenomenal. It is absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, sorry to, maybe I went off on a little rant there for a little bit long. I apologize. So let's do this. Let's get back on point. Let's log into listings to leads. When you log in, you're going to see this pop up. We're not going to go into it today, but I'm telling you right now, I highly recommend watching this video. Okay, watch this video because this is an email, and you can see that email right there in the screenshot. And I've got the same email right here. And this relates to what we were talking about just a little bit ago. All right. This is the neighborhood area listing presentation. So it's not a listing presentation for a particular home. It's a listing presentation for my area. I just showed it to you a little bit ago. and where I print just the cover page, I lay it down, take a picture of it, and then I send it to the seller leads in my database with the subject line, "Your home in 2026." And it's literally one line. I'm preparing and sending my 100 plus point home marketing plan to clients this week who are thinking about selling this year. Let me know if you'd like a copy. And if you want to change this year to selling in 2026, whatever, I think it's at this point people realize this year means 2026, but you can clarify that however you want. And it's just let me know if you like a copy. Some people are asking me if they can take a screenshot, and you can, but there's something about a physical manifestation of the product, i.e., the 100 point home marketing plan, right? Like a physical thing versus a online guide. Now we can send it to them as a PDF link or as a link. We could actually print it, depends on the back and forth when they request it from you. But yeah, check out that video because I walk through it, I explain it. And the only thing I'll say is don't send the image as an attachment. So if you do this, I had two clients send me examples like, "Hey Scott, how does this look?" And they were both attachments. I'm like, dude, don't send it as an attachment because now they're not going to Deb's point about people not clicking links. People really don't want to click attachments, right? So send it as an image in the email, just like you saw me. And the only last pro tip I'll give you is just if you can resize the image so it's not too large, so it doesn't take too long to load in the email. That's a little bit of 6 of one, half a dozen of another. All right. We went through a lot of stuff there. I hope Deb says, love it. I love it too. It's awesome. Paul Vella, what is Flipbook? Yeah, we'll hang out for a few minutes at the end of this call and we'll talk about that. Hi Scott, can we generate a link from LL that we can attach in our CRM and email? Yeah, 100%. Of course. Since everybody's asking me, let me just show you. I'm not going to go through. Oh shoot, I'm in the wrong account. How did I get into this account? You know what? While we're here, let me show you a video. So this is my wife. She is a mortgage broker. And there's two things here that are going to relate to what we're talking about today. In fact, we're going to go through, we're going to do a couple of things here. So this is her ad, and she's been running this exact same ad. All of a sudden, man, I'll tell you, the cost per lead is not what I like, but I think it's more due to the time of year than anything. Because Christmas, it can get a little bit pricey because there's so many ads around Christmas. And I'm going to play the audio. You may or may not be able to hear the audio, but let me just play. So that video was a TikTok, Instagram, YouTube short. At the end of the video, because when you do a TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube short, there's no learn more button. It's just a post on TikTok. It's a post on Instagram. So on the Instagram version, it said DM or comment below for more information. And then when she got done with the video, she paused for a couple of seconds and then said, click learn more below for more information. And then we took that video, we duplicated the video, we loaded it up into TikTok and then edited it for TikTok. And then this is my process. Download the video, upload it to Instagram, upload it to YouTube because TikTok editor is the best. And then I edited it again to take out the part about DM or comment below and put so it goes, click learn more below for more information. Does that make sense for everybody? So that was a process of doing the video. So we got double use out of it. It worked as a post, but it's also a video. So that's the first kind of my thing on video, which is awesome. Do you suggest putting the image in the text as well? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Put the image. The image, if you're talking about what we were talking about below or earlier, the image would go below the text. It's only one, it's two sentences. It's I'm preparing for my clients, let me know, image. It's 20 words. So that was the ad. Now, if you're doing a listing, you could do a listing where you use an image. I think for a listing, the image is better because people can actually see, and we're going to be talking about that. But now for a pending or just sold, you doing a quick little video could be phenomenal, right? When it gets to the status of pending and sold, and you could do one ad where it is the image and another ad with the video, and then you can maybe or alternate. One week you do a video, next week you do an image, and you can see how they work. You can see how you feel about it. You can get better at it. But so the video is one part of it. All right. They see you, and I can tell you, there's a guy in Southern California who's been a client for a while, and he's also been doing the same. He's got a video of him, and he's walking down the street talking about, I can't remember what his ad is about, but he's walking down the street, and I think it's like maybe to get a free list of homes for sale or something like that, and he's walking down the street talking, and he's been running that same ad for months. It's the exact same ad. God, I got another client in Ontario, Canada. Same thing. It's the same ad video. And it's just he's been rerunning it for months because it's one of these kind of evergreen ads. All right. So the video is the first thing. Now check this out. Learn more. And I want you to notice these questions. All right. I want you to notice these questions right here. Normally you're thinking you would have thought you would have seen name, email, and phone number, right? You click on a lead ad, name, email, and phone number. I'm going to show you today how to customize these questions based on the ad, based on the listing, whatever it is, so that you're going to get more information than just name, email, and phone number that can help in your follow up. So let me just go through this. So the questions here are, what is your time frame to buy? And so they're going to select, all right, so whatever. See if you qualify for zero down or down payment assistance. Yes. And how would you describe your credit score right now? I'm going to say great. In fact, that was the very first lead this ad generated. That's exactly what it said. Do you think, now keep in mind, there's over 23 or 4 different questions for sellers we'll go through. There's over 20, 25 questions for buyers. So these are just 3 of 25 different questions that could have been put here. I'm going to go through others with you a little bit later when we get into doing the ads. But what I want you to be thinking about here is, how different is her follow-up now? How different is it going to be knowing the information that the lead just shared with her? Because now she knows the lead, all right, the time frame. And to be honest, time frame is, who knows? Time frame to me is a little bit generic. Some people put 1 to 3. They got no business putting 1 to 3. They're more like 12 plus. Some people put 12 plus just because they don't know the process. And then they realize, oh, I could get pre-qualified. I didn't realize I can get pre-qualified so fast. I didn't realize I can go look at homes. I didn't know the process. And so they may say 12 plus months, but are much quicker, all right, to actually do something. So time frame, that's one thing. And then the lead said, yes, I want more information about zero down or down payment assistance. And the lead said, I've got great credit score. So now when she follows up with that lead, she is going to be able to refer to helping her get more information about down payment assistance and how that can be a great benefit for her. And that because she's got great credit, she should really be able to qualify for a great loan with great down payment assistance options. And it's very likely there might be some zero down opportunities for her as well. What areas are you looking for? And when the lender here is able to have those other kind of like information tidbits and refer to that in the follow-up, now the lead is going, oh yeah, I want that information. I want information on down payment assistance. I want, and that she referred to my credit score as being great. That's going to help get her excited. Now there was another lead came in, and it was like this. Yes, let me know. And it was 12 plus months. And so here it's going to be different because now when she follows up with this lead, it's, hey, thanks for requesting more information about down payment assistance. I'm excited to work with you and get you that information. And I see that your credit may not be that great, but you know what? I don't want you to worry because we are able to help out people that have bad credit to get their credit in order, right? I got some great information to help you out. And we'll talk about your credit cards and we'll put a plan together to get your credit to where it needs to be so that you can get a home sometime in the next 12 months. So you see how that the difference between the first lead and then this lead, and these are both actual lead, how they answered these questions. And that was her follow-up in the last few days. She's already connected with one of them because she is now adding more value. It's not just name, email, and phone number and her calling up and going, oh, thanks for responding to my ad. How can I help you? Everybody, does that make sense? Now, this is obviously a lender, but I think we can see as an agent, I'm telling you, when we get to the stuff for agents, it's even better. But here's what we're going to do right now. I don't like this, that the ad is performing at $8 a lead. Now, like I said, because look at this, we were at 416, 444, 499, 588, 588. I know that's so funny. Two different ads. 789. So that was 769. So that was a little bit. But here's what I recommend. When you have an ad that is performing substandard, like it's just too high of a cost per lead or higher than you want, a lot of times what you can do, let me just refresh and see if that's changed. I doubt it's changed enough for me to be happy with it. 855. Oh my God, it's even worse. Okay. So here's what you do. I'm just going to turn it off. And because this is a very custom ad, I'm going to click on edit and I'm just going to copy this text. So I'm going to copy that text and I'm going to rerun it. And so we're going to rerun this ad and then we're going to then we're going to log into my agent account. But just to show you, so I'm going to go to landing page, down payment assistance. So again, I'm in the ads tab. I click create Facebook ad, landing page, and I'm going to use down payment assistance, lead ad, create ad. And that's the default text. I'm just going to delete it and put in this text right here. All right. Now for the image, I'm going to change that, change image video. I'm going to upload her video. Now, if it wasn't already in here, you'd click upload and you could upload it, but it's already in her account. So under my files, video, and there's that video, insert, let that cycle through, give it a second here. There we go. Now, while that's loading under location, I'm going to do Roseville, California, lifetime budget, 100. Oh, start and end date 1 week. We already did the meeting. Now, for those questions, all right, for those questions, advanced options, and then create new form. So again, now I could click create ad and I'm going to get name, email, and phone number. And there's a couple of default questions we ask about before name, email, and phone number. But if I go to advanced options, create new form, here's where I can see those questions right there, form questions. So I open that up and so there's name, email, and phone number like usual. What is your time frame to buy? So she likes that one. And see if you qualify for 0 down. She wants that one. And she likes the credit score one. So those are the 3 questions. And you can actually reorder these. I'm gonna reorder, see if you qualify. I'm gonna put that above what's your time frame. You know why I'm doing that? Anybody want to guess why I'm changing the order of these questions? Let me know if you can think, why would I put that question above time frame to buy? There's a very clear, a very specific reason why I just did that. Yeah, no, Ruben, maybe email me or send me a DM because this message will go away a little bit later. But yeah, send me a message a little bit later. System wide, and that was just in the last few days. Last week, the ad was doing great. The week before that, the ad was doing great. So I think and the engagement is actually good. It's like I told her, I was like, $8 a lead, if you're getting really good engagement, is not a problem. And I do, if you go like if you go industry wide, down payment assistance leads, even at $10, people are very satisfied. So for me to sit here and nitpick an $8 down payment assistance lead, is a little first world problems in a kind of way. A lot of people would be happy at down payment assistance at $10 a lead. And you're getting these questions answered on top of name, email, and phone number. Why did I put this question above? It is because this is something that people are going to be more engaged with, right? So when a lead sees the question, see if you qualify for zero down or down payment assistance, probably 70, it's a DPA ad. So, 80 to 90% say yes, if not 100% probably. And so they say yes to that. So now they are more invested into this process because they are on their way to getting information about zero down and down payment assistance options to buy a home. So now they are way more invested. So when I go to ask these next two questions, they're going to be much more likely to answer them and answer them in a way that's accurate. So what's your time frame to buy? Again, I don't put too much weight on that, but then how'd you describe your credit? And again, so here we go. Like I said before, if it's great credit, you're going to have one kind of angle of response. And if they got bad credit, she's not gonna ignore them if they got bad credit, but she's gonna respond to them differently. In fact, she's got a person in her office who helps with credit repair. So she'll call up the lead, have a quick conversation, and then maybe turn that lead over to the other person in her office who does a little bit more specialization with credit repair. But she's now able to hone in her follow-up in a way that's much more targeted to that lead. So I'm going to go create form, and we're going to get out of here and we're going to jump into my account, close advanced options, and create ad. That's it. So easy, way easier than going into the ads manager, right? Could you imagine doing this in the Facebook ads manager? It would have taken us the entire call today to go through that. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to close that out. I'm going to open up in my other monitor. I'm going to log into my account and I'll drag it over here. So just give me 1 second, please. And then let's get into a couple of examples for real estate. Let's talk AI follow up. Let's talk. And one thing also, we don't mention this enough. If you go to your profile in listings to leads, you can send your leads to your CRM. So under CRM integration, right, we got API Nation, Bold Trail, Brivity through API, Lofty, Follow Up Boss, KW Command, Real Geeks, Sierra, Top Producer, Wise Agent, Zapier. If you use Go High Level, that would be Lead Connector. So this is the lead connector. It's Go High Level. And then we got tons and tons of Zaps available. If your CRM is not listed, go to other CRMs. Your CRM will have what's called a lead forwarding email address. That is not your normal email. All right. So don't be putting deb@debhane.com here. The lead forwarding email address from your CRM is going to be like some weird, crazy looking email that you would never use anywhere else, but it's a parsing email so that when you generate leads in listings to leads, it will do its little magic in the back end and send it to your CRM and drop all the information where it needs to go. So if you need help with that, let our team know. But let's now talk the idea of, again, it's one thing to run an ad It's one thing to generate leads, but it's another thing to figure out how can I engage and convert leads. And so again, we're going to do custom questions in the ad itself to help better qualify so that our follow up is now more personal. It's more intentional and it is more value add to that person based on their responses to those three questions. That makes sense? Why am I having trouble following him? Sure. What do you mean following? So the first part of this is again, adding the right questions to your ad. The second part of it's going to be the physical part of follow up. So we're going to use AI, our AI text follow up. If you've got it in Lofty, if you've got it in another program, perfect. You use that. I don't really care. And it's going to be that we call, that we actually personally follow up. Sometimes people like to follow up via text first. Sometimes people like to call, but you're going to want to make sure that you've got a time set every single day. And she even does it on Saturdays from like about 10 to 12. So not for 2 hours, but at some point, depending on how many leads she's going to be calling and what have you, she'll between those 2 hours, there will be a period of time within those 2 hours that she will devote to lead follow up. Okay. I just decided to run a down payment. That's awesome. How'd you do the video? I don't know how. Yeah. Or, yeah. And here's the thing, you can always go back later and change the image to a video. You can go back later. For example, let's say I forgot to ask those questions the way I wanted to. You can go back later and add those questions and it will update the ad automatically, which is really cool. So let's do this. We're going to run an ad for a listing. Let's just say it's an open house. And then let's run an ad for a sold listing as either the listing or selling agent. And somebody the other day made a point. He said, any listing that you sold in the last 12 months, you can consider as just sold. If you need to talk to your broker, talk to your MLS, you can also you could also say sold versus just sold. So you could say, for example, 456 Main Street sold in Folsom, so that we're not saying just sold if you, however you want to do it. But if you have had any listing in the last 12 months as either the listing or the selling agent, you can do a sold or just sold ad. Okay. Let's be clear on that. All right. I've got a listing in my account and I'm going to click market listing. Deb, no, yeah, there's one video that you're missing. I can think of a video that you don't have. Deb, I love giving you a hard time. You know that. All right. So we're going to go to Facebook and Instagram ad. If you ever need help getting listings into your account, let our support team know. And right, we brought all of Facebook into listings to leads. You don't need to worry about special housing, special housing category. God, I feel like I'm butchering that. We've got that set up by default. You don't need the privacy policy. We've got that set up by default. So we've got like 15 years of algorithm experience with Facebook. That's why, in fact, I've had a few people recently tell me, like, Scott, we love running ads through listings to leads and we do great with it because you guys have been doing it for so long that kind of like the programmatic algorithm is great with you guys. And they're like, even compared to other programs, our cost per lead is great with you guys. And you can customize this ad however you want. So if you're doing a Facebook ad, so for example, let's say, and this is just absolutely random. Let's say you got, let's say Jay Kinder at EXP has an ad and he's, oh, this ad is so great. Or some coach at Colo Banker, oh, this ad is so great. You can run that ad in listings to leads as either if it's for a listing or a custom ad. You can do any kind of ad with listings to leads. You can retarget, you got custom audiences, you can change your interests, you can change the placements, right? There's so many things that you can do. But what we're going to do here is we're just going to go, it's going to autofill a location. I can change any of this that I want, but I'm just going to leave everything by default. The only thing I recommend is budget. You want to be at least $10 a day for buyers, all right? At least $10 a day, if not more. So I'm going to put 100 for a week because it is an open house. And right, I can change the template or I can do a video. We got 21 different templates down here. What kind of videos? Listing video, to do videos. For listings, like I said, I like the image better for a for sale listing. Because for the most part, people just want to see the listing. All right. I would say the videos, dude, do TikTok, do Instagram, right? Do YouTube shorts. You could do it literally. If you take a look at our open house marketing, we got the daily calendar where every day there's a new short form video. We talk about the front of the house, then the next day the kitchen, the next day the living room, the next day the backyard. But for an ad like this, I like just the image. I don't like carousel. I don't like video. I just like the image template right here. All right. Now, here's what we're all here for: advanced options, create new form, and form questions right there. Form questions. So here's where we are going to customize the questions. So we got, what is your time frame to buy? I'm going to turn that off actually. Would you like my ultimate guide to buying a home? I'm going to turn that off. And what I do is I scroll all the way down and I work my way back up. I don't know. It's just the way I am. And so, how much you currently have available for down payment, even if it's zero. I'm not going to go through every single question, but I'm just going to scroll up. Now, here's a great, if you got new construction that you're marketing, if the home you're marketing is new construction, like for example, you're borrowing a new construction listing to hold open or whatever it is, would you like me to send you current builder incentives or specials? Yes, please. No, thank you. All right. But this is not new construction. You're going to notice there are 5 questions that are all the exact same. What's most important to you in your next home? But they're all based on different buyer profiles: first time home buyer, family move up, downsizing, lifestyle second home, executive buyers. This is great for move up, and the responses available are all different, or the answers. So you can mouse over the question to see what those replies are going to be. And see if you qualify for zero down or down payment assistance. That question, in California at least, you can any you could make $400,000 a year and qualify for zero down or down payment assistance. So talk to your lender if you're not sure about that. But in fact, I think in our mastermind group, someone asked, they said, "Hey, is there any lender that can do zero down because our lender can't?" And there's a few different lenders that popped in there, and they're like, "Yeah, we can do zero down. We can do zero down anywhere." That could be a great one. I also like this one. Would you like to be notified first when similar listings hit the market? All right, I like that one. So I got those 3 questions already. But another great one can be, would you like to see a list of price reduced homes for sale? That would be a great one. And there's other ones up here, right? You can take a look at them later. So here are my 3 questions. See if you qualify for zero down or down payment assistance. Would you like to be notified first when similar listings hit the market? What's most important to you in your next home? So you're probably going to see more than 50% of people say yes to zero down. You'll probably see 70 to 80% they want to be notified when similar listings hit the market. So for that one, what you're going to do if they say yes, what are you going to do? You're going to set them up in your IDX. You're going to drop them into your IDX as for a search for homes similar to this one. If they say yes to see if you qualify for zero down, we role played that a little bit earlier with when we were talking about the other ad that E was doing, where we're going to call them up and just reference the fact that they wanted to get more information, and so we just need to get a few questions answered to best provide the information that they're looking for. And you might want to talk to your lender if you want to use that question and just find out what are the 1 or 2 questions I should ask, and then to do a introduction if appropriate. Okay. Or you can get the general information from your lender. Maybe you co-brand it and then you share that with the agent or with the lead. All right. So there's a few different ways you can handle that. And then I got the question, what's most important to you in your next home? And so they say school district, close to shopping, being near parks, right? And they're all phrased a little bit differently. I'm just giving you the shorthand version of each of those replies. I can now address that in my follow-up so that they understand, hey, listen, he knows I would like to get information about down payment assistance. I would like to get notified of similar listings in the area, and I want to be near a park. That's one of the things that I would love in the next, or I want to open floor plan with extra rooms or whatever it is that they selected in that question. So my follow-up is going to be a lot better because I'm paying attention to what they responded to. Now, when you get notified of that lead, the email and also your CRM or the lead detail in listings to leads, they will all show you these three questions and what the lead said. So you'll know exactly what the lead said. You don't need to worry about how am I going to know what they said. You'll know because it's in the email, the lead detail and listings to leads, and it will be sent to your CRM if you got that connected. So we're done. I'm going to close advanced options and hit create ad. I mean, it's literally that easy. All right, now let's go do an ad. We got 10 more minutes. Oh, now check this out. If you don't have an AI text system, you'll be prompted right here, AI text follow-up. So you'll have an option, and then I can click subscribe. It's half off for the first 2 months. Hit next. You'll put in your credit card. You'll hit next again, and you'll select a AI agent name. And then you'll also select, do you want it for buyer leads, seller leads, or both? And you'll have this turned on in 90 seconds. So before that ad ever gets live, the AI will be ready to go. And the really cool thing about the AI text, and I love it. And if you got it from another CRM or another program, phenomenal. I'm not trying to get you to change. I just want to make sure everybody has a solution for this because this is invaluable. They qualify like 10 to 12% of all the leads coming in. And what's really cool, so when you get a lead, name, email, and phone number, you'll get a notification saying your AI agent has connected or is reaching out to this lead. And it'll say successful, unsuccessful because of bad phone number, unsuccessful because it's a landline. So you'll know, which I love that. First of all, just that alone I love because now I know, oh, it's a good phone number. Okay, that's cool. Then every time the lead responds, you're going to get another email, and it will show you in the email exactly what the question was and what the lead's response was. So you'll know what's going on in the conversation. I will be able to tap the email, open up listings to leads, go right to the conversation. And just again, I can see all the lead detail information right there. If I feel like I want to turn off the AI text, I can do that with one click as well. But you are still going to want to be following up. So don't rely on AI to do all of the work for you. To me, the big benefit of the AI text is it's going to follow up within 30 seconds. Like it's pretty much immediate. And it's going to stay persistent. So it's not going to forget to reach out to the lead. In the beginning, it's a little bit more intense, not necessarily the right word. It's going to be a little bit more attentive in the beginning. And then every day it gets a little bit less to the point where maybe after about a week or so, it's every couple of days that it's going to reach back out to that lead, but it'll make different offers. It might say, would you like a list of price reduced homes for sale? Would you like a list of pool homes? Is there anything changing in your home buying experience? Are you pre-qualified? Is there anything we can? So it's going to be doing different things to engage the lead. And you'll see sometimes the lead will respond right away. Sometimes the leads will not respond for a few weeks and then they unrespond for a little while, they ghost, and then they come back like a month later. So it's really cool because you have full transparency into it. You can turn it off, turn it on at any point, and it's awesome. I can't recommend it enough. All right, let's go to a sold listing. And if anybody has an idea of an ad, let me know. because we can do like a custom ad. In fact, I'll show you something here in a minute, but let's do it just sold. So again, this could be any listing that you've sold as a listing or a selling agent in the last year. You can add the listing to your account as just sold listing agent, just sold selling agent, or sold. You can do what I'm going to show you with any kind of pending listing, again, as pending listing agent or a pending selling agent. If you have a buyer right now in contract on a property, add it to listings to leads as the proper status, active, contingent, pending, whatever it's going to be. And you can do this as well. And you got the nearby home, you got all the phenomenal tools. But check this out. Just sold. These are my favorite questions. I love the seller questions. Facebook and Instagram ad. And so it's going to autofill address location. We got the city here, completely editable. In fact, we did an ad the other week. I'll see if I can find it maybe. Essentially, it's like the golden letter language in the ad itself. And that's why you see here, I've got the text in my ad image. We have more buyers for homes in Folsom, right? And so I edited the image text because I was using language in the ad copy that was related to the golden letter, which was, I thought, pretty sweet. So again, the only thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change budget to 100. And it's gonna retarget by default. If I got a custom audience, I can do that. Now, to the questions, advanced options, create new form, and form questions. So again, name, email, and phone number per usual. What's your time frame to sell? I'm going to get rid of it. And I'm going to scroll down. Would you sell in the next 1 to 3 months if you got the right price? I love that question. I love it. If somebody says yes to that, man, we'll get back to it in a minute. These other two questions I like: see how AI can help you sell faster for top dollar, and see how my 100 plus point home marketing plan works for your home. All right. So the answers available for these three questions: would you sell in the next 1 to 3 months if you got the right price? Maybe, if it was the right price. No, I would not. If somebody responds yes to this, part of the follow-up will be, what is your, what price, right? So when I follow up with you, Deb, because you said yes to that question in the ad, when I call Deb, I'm going to, whether it's a voicemail, text message, right, email even, one of the things I'm going to say is, I saw that you may consider selling your home if you got the right price. What is your price? And no matter what they say, I'm going to say, great. When do you have 5 minutes for me to come over and take a quick look at it and see if it might be a property that one of my buyers would love to take a look at and maybe offer you that price? So my goal is going to be to parlay that yes into me coming over for a 5-minute preview and be able to meet that homeowner. Am I going to be taking one of my listing presentation marketing plan booklets with me? Hell yeah. Yeah, of course I am. So I'm going to make sure I've got an opportunity to leave that behind. And if it's like $1.5 million home in a nice area, I'm probably going to create it for their home specifically. I'm probably going to like literally add their home to my account so that when I drop this off, they're looking at their home, right? Their name is on the cover, their address is on the cover, and every image in the whole thing is of their home. So that's beautiful. Next question: see how AI can help you sell faster for top dollar. I mean, that's another just banger of a question. The options that they have are yes, show me how, not right now. Beautiful. And the next one: see how my 100 plus point home marketing plan works for your home. And the options for the lead or to respond with will be yes, please, yes, and please customize for my home, not right now. And man, I tell you, I had a woman, she used this. She got 2 people that said yes and customized for my home. So in her follow up, Thank you for requesting a copy of my 100 plus point my 100 plus point home marketing plan. What is your property address so that I can create this plan? And would you like me to mail it via the mail, email it, or send it via text? Beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful follow up. So, do you see how now in this model, when I've got these questions, do you see how my follow up is going to be so much better? We got AI text follow up for these. Now these are seller leads. So the follow up is different than it is for buyer leads, right? It's going to be related to the fact that they're a homeowner, that they might be, do they want to sell? What are they thinking, right? Going down that path versus the buyer path. And let me see if I've got an ad with that language for the golden letter. If I do, I think I do. If I do, I will give you the link. Let's let Facebook come up. All right. Any questions on anything? It's 12 o'clock. And if anybody wants to hang out for a quick minute, I will show you. Oh, yeah. Here. All right. I'm going to put this link in the chat. And I will. You can click on that link and you can see that text right there. So this is where I was the selling agent. So it was my buyer that bought the property. You could easily convert this into where you're the listing agent. All right. So 694 Douglas Boulevard in Folsom just sold. It was my buyer who wrote the accepted offer. The problem is I have 16 more pre-approved buyers interested in buying a home in Folsom, some of whom have been looking for months. If you have a 3 to 4 bedroom home between 2,500 and 4,000 square feet, would you consider selling your home to one of my buyers? If so, what is your magic number to sell? All right. Boom. Just edit that for your home. And let me see if I've got one for the listing agent. I'm pretty sure I do. Let's see real quickly here. If I go down to just sold listing agent, market listing, don't worry about what I'm doing. I'm just looking for an ad to share with you. I'm not training on anything, but you can see here again, just sold in Folsom. I have 24 more buyers for homes in Folsom. And let me go to a past ad. Let me see if I got this from the listing agent's perspective. And nope, not that one. I'll tell you what, let me archive it. And let me check the next one. I know I've got one. Let me just see if it's this next one. All right, everybody, are we good? And yeah, here it is. So here's the version of it where I'm the listing agent. I'm going to drop that in to the chat. All right. Everybody, you guys what I would recommend is that you click on those and open them up on your computer so that you can take a look at them later. And then what you can do is you can go show ad. You click, because you can't copy, I can't highlight this. You're going to have to go show ad. And it's usually 2 to 3 ads down or 2 to 3 posts down. Usually. Not always. There we go. I guess 4 to 5. And then here I can just copy, put it in my system, and then edit it so that it's appropriate for my situation. So for the buyer one, it was, my buyer wrote the offer. For the listing, we're on the listing agent. It's my 100 point home marketing plan. All right. Now I got a video coming out to show you this next one, which is absolutely nuts, but I'm excited about it. So check this one. I'm doing a video. I'm editing the video today. Hopefully I'll have it later this afternoon. But check this out. If you're in the mastermind group, you may have seen it in the mastermind group already. And boom, there we go. So this is related to that email. So you know that video when you first log into listings to leads, there's that video we were talking about at the beginning of this call about sending to all the seller leads in your database about how you're preparing and sending the 100-point home marketing plan to your clients who are thinking about selling this year or thinking about selling in 2026. Let me know if you'd like a copy. This is a extended version or like an ad version of that, where I've got the 2026 100 plus point home marketing plan to get homes sold in Placer and El Dorado counties is now available. Claim your copy today, prepared for your home, benchmarked to top producing realtors nationwide to ensure you get the strongest offers and the most exposure in any market. That was all me. There's no AI there. And that's a video. In this video, it's just this on the countertop where I'm holding the phone and I'm just going through. You don't want my video because that's not you, right? And that's not your area. You could print this up yourself. If you've ordered this from us in the past and you got copies, you can use that, obviously, like I am here right now. If you're going to print it up, what you might want to do is, for example, maybe you send it to Kinko's, FedEx, whatever it is, Staples. You have them maybe print a nice copy for you that you can do with this. If you got a spiral binder, right, then that would be great. The problem is, let me see if I got my thermal binder. I got a thermal binder, and let me see. I thought I had it somewhere. The problem with the thermal binder version is it doesn't want to lay flat. So it's really hard to do this video. But check this out. Learn more. All right. What is your time frame to sell? Now, I didn't ask all three questions like I should have. But here, would you sell in the next 1 to 3 months if you got the right price? Maybe. And maybe I just do 12 plus, whatever. And check this out, though. So I've already got their name, email, and phone number. And I've got the questions answered, right? Which were, what's your time frame to sell? Because I forgot that those are just the default 2 questions. I forgot to customize them. But check this landing page. So this is a custom landing page in listings to leads. All right, that goes with that ad. And the video I'm editing right now will show you. So there's my property address, not really, but just one. And then my replies are drop off to your home, mail to your home, text or email. And then, so now I'm asking you, what is that price? And again, I got a video. Anybody interested in that video? And then name, email, and phone number. Do you think they're going to be more likely to give me a good name, email, and phone number here? Now, I know I've already got it, and I wouldn't necessarily have to ask for it here again, but this also just might be a straight up Facebook post. This also could be another email I sent to my database like 2 weeks from now. All right. Yeah, I think that's going to be I think that's a banger. I'm really, so if anybody wants to run this ad and you want to run it by me before you do. So again, there's the video, right? That's just the thing laying on the countertop. And I'm not even talking, I don't think. It's just, there's no talking, just completely silent. I didn't put any music. You don't need to. This kind of, I think it sells itself. I don't know that I need to do any talk because I got the text up here. Yeah, do you want to do music? You can, whatever. Boom. Yeah. All right. So I'll try to make sure I get that editing finished for the video, the how-to video. Mohammed, I actually did this, and Deb, I did that on the 7 a.m. call a couple of days ago for our dailies that we do. All right. Last thing I'm going to mention here before we get out of here, Scott, no talking. Dude. All right. Was that a swipe at me? Was that a swipe at me? No talking? No worries. I love you. Real quickly here, before we part ways for the day, the links for our dailies expired, and I wasn't even thinking. I didn't realize they were expiring, our Zoom calls. So I redid them. So in the mastermind group, the expired seller lead and visible pipeline accelerator daily. These are the 7 a.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Pacific daily calls that we do. And so you're going to see here, I updated the links. And obviously, Christmas Eve, Christmas, and the day after, I think, are no calls. And for the 7, wait, what does that say? 7 p.m., 10 a.m.? Oh, geez. Here we go. Yeah, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. East Coast, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. East Coast. And so I just updated these 2 links, and you can grab them from the mastermind group right here. So if you want to join us, I do twice a day for about an hour each, anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes. I'd like to see that video. Yeah, I'm not going to be emailing it to anybody. It's just right in the mastermind group. Yeah, that video is right here. Let me show you. If you're in the mastermind group, what I can do is I can tag you. So here's the one that you want to make sure you do. I'm preparing it. That's one that you want to do. That's just a great, easy post. And then this one here, I know people are like, oh, I'd love a copy. I'm like, I had a lot of people, I'd like to get a copy of that. I'm like, you're not a Shirley. Are you in the mastermind group, Shirley? In fact, what I'll do is I will put the link. Yeah, Candace, exactly right. I will. Nope, maybe not. But yeah, I'll tell you what, let me just drop that link. And it's funny because I did that video months ago. And then when we were when we were doing our daily Zoom calls, it came up and it was like, oh, wait, you know what? I got this video. That would be really phenomenal to use that video in this kind of a use case. And again, this could just be a straight up post. You don't even need a landing page. Now, if I'm doing an ad, right, then I got the landing page link, right? And you could do a post with the landing page, but this is just a straight up just comment or DM below. And I'm showing them again, could I show them a flip book? I could, but there's something about, especially AI, online, digital, phenomenal. We want to have both versions, but for some people, having that physical thing, there's value in that. And so to be able to have both is obviously just the best of both worlds, because now I can get it to you in whatever kind of format you want it. All right. All right, everybody, let's get out of here. Let's get to work. We're not making any money sitting around talking to each other. That's not necessarily true. We get great ideas. But regardless, let's get out of here. If you want to join us at 4 p.m. today, would love to see you. Otherwise, if you have any questions, let our support team know or get into the group here. Thank you, Candice. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Steven, I hope you're doing phenomenal. And everybody else, have a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Oh, wait, one more thing. Don't forget actually, this morning, quite a few people signing up with the affiliate links. Sometimes people will sign up and they'll be like, oh yeah, John or Susan or somebody told me about listings to leads, but they're not using their affiliate link. So make sure right there, affiliate link. My finance person hates this. Copy affiliate link, and you can share that link with somebody, and then they get like 21 free days versus 14, and you're getting 15% recurring, no cap, no limit. So yeah, if you're going to mention listings to leads, I think with about 7 people signing up, your account essentially is free at that point. So we've had people making hundreds of dollars a month. A few people have made thousands of bucks a month. Every so often, my finance person will mention it. She's like, do you know how much we're paying in affiliate fees? And I'm like, I want to pay more. I love affiliate fees. I'll pay you $10,000 a month in affiliate fees, depending on the signups. I don't care. I get more. I know there are some vendors out there, I think, that they cap them maybe. Why? I don't understand. Why would you cap affiliate payments? So we don't do that. We pay, I believe it's like whatever date the billing is. So if they get billed on the 14th, then you get paid on the 14th, right? If they get billed on the 27th, you get paid on the 27th. So it's pretty sweet. So check that out. And with that, everybody, thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.